to come back to your question around what have been some of the key learnings, I think one of the ahas for us has been the power of story and the power of being able to learn from one another who are engaging through really complex work. And what does that look like? What are the celebrations? But then importantly, what are the challenges that have been experienced? How have you dealt with that? We know that in complex work like collaborative response or any initiative where you're trying to make meaningful change to ensure optimal success, it's never a straight line. It's never a linear path. It's filled with ups, downs, celebrations and successes, moments of implementation dip. And I think the stories have really helped connect and reinforce that everyone's path is going to be slightly different, but there's so much learning that can come from the experiences of others.
We have learned so much through people's stories too. And as they share their questions and their ideas and their thinking, then it helps to solidify the work that we're doing, but also sometimes helps us to grow and expand our thinking around certain areas. So we just so much appreciate those the opportunity to learn from others through those stories that are told as well. The other part that, and you've heard us say this a million times, but it is that concept around ready, fire, aim. And that, we jumped onto the idea during COVID about, how do we continue our learning, continue our support with partners through, podcasts, what are the number of ways that we could continue that learning together. And so we just jumped in and we created 4 podcasts because they each had different purposes, as Curtis had shared earlier. And now it's time for us to aim. And so we're backing into those 2 and shaping those 2 podcasts and really being definitive about what's the content that's going to happen through those podcasts. So I think that idea of ready, fire, aim is really important for you to jump in just to get started, but to know that along the way you are going to fine tune. And this is a little bit of our fine tuning.
So Jen, I'm going to turn that back to you because through all 50 of these episodes and putting the pieces together, you've been the constant. You've been the consummate host of those conversations. What have been some of your key learnings through these engagements?
It's the integrity of you two has shined through with every learning associate and every partner that I've had the opportunity to engage with. And so as the behind the scenes person who, I've known you guys for many more years than this podcast has existed, but to hear your messages reiterated over and over and over, the number of people that have said it's important work, just get started, it's absolutely worth it. But the big one has been trust the process, because that is exactly what it is. And so as you have learned and refined and had those opportunities to share with partners and, oh, wow, I hadn't thought of that. Well, what if we did this differently? To watch you two demonstrate and live the messages that you're sharing, I think that is the biggest thing that I feel like I'm walking away with from this one. You've introduced me to so many people I never would have had an opportunity to meet just from where I'm at. But honestly, to hear them again, repeat over and over, all those things I've heard you say for almost 15 years, and to watch you guys shape your path as a result of the learning, and to see how people have a loyal following to you as a result has been an absolute highlight.